Hello students, we have already covered a portion of the semiconductor devices including diode and transistor. In transistor we have seen different kinds of biasings of transistor. We have understood the transistor hybrid model. If you have gone through the video, you have gathered a little knowledge before solving some problems. Today we will see some problem solving aptitude and problem solving techniques involved with the transistor and also transistor biasing and hybrid model. So let us start solving some problems starting from some very basic one. Problem number 1, I am going through the problem for you. Find the transistor current in the adjacent circuit for a silicon transistor. Each of the words will signify something or give you some hint before solving the problem. Which are those? First one, to find the transistor current. What are the transistor currents? Transistor current that will include IC and IB. Why? Because the emitter is grounded here. This common emitter configuration. Transistor current means IC and IB. In the adjacent circuit, this the circuit is given. I will elaborate this circuit later. For a silicon transistor, what this signifies? Silicon transistor, it is taken as granted that for silicon transistor the biasing base to emitter voltage, that is VBE, is considered to be 0.7. That's why this hint is given silicon. Otherwise for any other transistor, germanium transistor, it will be considered 0.2. So, and beta is given. Beta is what? Beta equals to the ratio of IC and IB. The ratio between IC and IB is given, and silicon transistor, it is told, that is the value of VBE that will be equals to 0.7. This value would be 0.7, and you have to calculate or you have to find out the transistor currents now. Now let me elaborate this circuit. Look at this circuit very carefully. This circuit is drawn or given in the NPN transistor in common emitter mode. This NPN transistor, the arrow is outwards, biasing is done, and it is done in common emitter mode. Look at very carefully. First, the VCE value is given, that is the collector biasing voltage. It is 10 volt, it is given, through which collector current is passing. It is going through the resistance which is connected with the collector, and there is a VBB, that is base biasing voltage, and it is 5 volt. It is connected with some resistance through which IB, there is a base current, is flowing. Then the value of VBE is given 0.7, and as it is told it is silicon transistor. You have to calculate the value of IC and IB. It's very simple. In addition, also you can calculate VCE. I will not go in detail of the calculation for the numeric values. Today I will show the approach of solving it. The approach will be very simple. First, what you have to do, very two basic things. For all the transistor models, almost all the transistor models, the problems will be asked in this fashion, and you have to take the technique. First you have to attack the input circuit, then following that you have to go to the output. So what will be in the input circuit? Look at this. This is the input terminal and this is the output terminal. In the input terminal, it is connected with the VBB 5 volt. It is connected with the base, is the input part, and output current is IC. You have to calculate both the values of IB and IC. So first I will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law, KVL, in the input circuit. In the input part I will apply first Kirchhoff's voltage law. This is the input circuit. Look, it will be starting from the battery, then going through the resistance, again going through this base to emitter voltage or voltage drop through base to emitter, then it is connected with the ground and it is completing the circuit. So in the input circuit, if I start calculating with Kirchhoff's voltage law, I will write the Kirchhoff's voltage law as first VBB starting from this point is equals to IB into RB plus VBB VBE. It is completed, it is going to that, then this connected. So from that I can easily calculate the value of IB. IB will be equals to VBB minus VBE divided by RB. Now look, all the values are given. VBB 5 volt given. VBE, it is told it is silicon, so it will be 0.7. Then RB, this one RB is given 100 kilo ohm. You put the values, you will be getting a result that is 0.043 milliammeter. You will be putting, what you will be putting, VB equals to 5 minus 0.7 divided by 100 kilo ohm, that is 100 into 10 to the power 3. This will be in ampere. Then if you convert this ampere into milliampere, then you will be getting this one. This will be in ampere, and in milliampere this one. Okay. Then what is remaining? Other transistor current, that is IC. How to calculate IC? You know the basic formula. The relationship between IB and IC. The relationship is like IC equals to beta IB plus beta plus 1 ICBO. Leakage current, anything about the leakage current is told in the question? No, nothing about the leakage current is told. So I will consider the leakage current is 0 or negligible. So I will ignore this part. Only I will write IC equals to beta IB. The value of beta, is it given? Yes, the beta is given. Beta is 100. So put beta equals to 100 into IB. The value of IB you know, that is 0.043 milliampere. So it will be 4.3 milliampere. Now you can calculate VCE. VCE you can calculate. Other transistor voltage drop across collector to emitter. How? Applying Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output circuit. How will be calculating the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output circuit? It is very simple. You have to write the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output circuit. It will be like that. This is the circuit. Starting from VCC, there is VCC, that will be equals to IC into RC plus IC into RC going through this one. Then the voltage drop, that is VCE. Completed. So what will be the value of VCE? The value of VCE will be equals to VCC minus IC into RC. The value of VCC, it is given 10 volt. IC you have calculated 4.3 milliampere, and RC, that is given 2 kilo ohm. So following that you can easily calculate the value of VCC. VCE, it will be probably 1.4 volt after calculation. So you will check the calculation later. I am showing you the approach. So again I am going back to the question and showing you the steps of calculation. I am going back to the question. The question is very simple. This is the simplest question asked for a transistor. You have to consider the transistor configuration. The biasing will be done. If it is not done, you have to simplify the circuit as per your own, for your better understanding only. Then you have to attack the input part or input circuit first. Then you have to go to the output circuit, applying the knowledge of input circuit. From the input circuit, what you will be getting? You will be always getting IB. From the output circuit, what you will be getting? You will be getting the value of IC. Also from the output circuit you can calculate the value of VCE. Understood? I think you will be now able to calculate the next one. The next problem I am reading for you. The next problem is also very simple. The next problem tells you about the transistor again, and here the circuit diagram is given, and it is told that you have to calculate find the transistor current in the following circuit. What is the difference between in these two circuits? Nothing, almost same. Only the difference is here the value of VCE is given. VCE, the voltage drop, is given. Okay, VB is not given, so you have to anyhow consider it to be a silicon transistor, and you have to consider the value of this VBE to be 0.7 volt. Then you have to proceed accordingly. Okay, so first let us calculate the value of IB from the input circuit, as I did in the previous class. From the input circuit, what can I write? Kirchhoff's voltage law, VBB, starting from this one, VBB equals to IB into RB plus VBE. So what will be the value of IB? from that you can calculate the value of IB as VBB minus VBE divided by RB. The value of RB is given 50 kilo ohm, the value of VBB is given 5 volt, and VBE, as it is not told here, I will consider silicon for simplicity of calculation. For silicon transistor, the value of VBE will be 0.7. So I will write this 5 minus 0.7 divided by 50 kilo ohm, that is 50 into 10 to the power 3. Whatever be the value, that will be the value of IB. Now we can easily calculate the value of IC. How you can calculate the value of IC? IC will be equals to beta IB. You can apply IC, that will be equals to beta IB. You can calculate. Also, you can calculate from the output circuit. How? From the output circuit, you can write VCC equals to IC into RC plus VCE. Here the value of VCE is given, so you can calculate IC. IC will be equals to VCC minus VCE divided by RC. Look, all the values are given. The value of RC is given 2 kilo ohm. The value of VCC is given 10 volt, that is collector biasing voltage. The value of VCE, voltage drop between collector to emitter junction, it is given. So from that also you can calculate the value of IC. But calculating here the value of IC, you will be getting something through this approach. You will be calculating IC and this IC different, and from that you can tally whether the transistor is in active region or saturation region. If you get that calculating this IC which is less than the value of beta IB, then you will say that the transistor is in saturation region. Now moving forward, question number 3. Look, a circuit is given. The circuit is very simple. A circuit is given. Can we identify this circuit? No, this circuit is not familiar to you, but I do think this circuit is familiar to you if you have gone through the previous lecture. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the transistor biasings. There we have discussed about 3 types of transistor biasing. One was fixed bias, another was emitter to base bias, and the third one was self bias circuit. Okay, so if I go back to our knowledge of this fixed bias circuit, the circuit diagram was like that. With the NPN transistor, if I go in common emitter mode, the circuit diagram was like that. That there was one resistance, there was another resistance, and there was no resistance. This one was not like that, only this one. Then it was connected with some battery. It was grounded. It was connected with some battery. This is a collector terminal. This NPN transistor. So collector junction will be reverse bias. The circuit was like that. So this circuit was fixed bias circuit. In the fixed bias circuit, through this terminal the current will be flowing IC plus IB, and in this point in this junction it will be divided. Through this terminal the current will be flowing IC, then IB will be flowing through this terminal. And what will be the input circuit? Input circuit from this point going there, connected with the base and completing this circuit. This is input circuit. What will be the output circuit? Again starting from this terminal, going through this output part of the transistor and completing this. This circuit is given here. Some values are told. The value of VCC, it is told. Beta is told. Nothing else is told. As nothing else is told, I will consider again silicon transistor for simplicity of calculation, and I will consider this value of VBB, VBE, that is a voltage drop between base to emitter junction, will be 0.7 volt for simplicity of calculation. Then what will be the mode of solution? Same as we did in the previous case. That is, first we will target the input terminal, then we will target the output terminal. So consider the input terminal starting from this point. It is going through that, going through this, then completing this part and that part. Done. Very simple. Some values should be given. The value of this IB will be given. Suppose the value of IB is 250 kilo ohm. It is given. The value of this RC, this RB and RC will be given. suppose this is 2 kilo ohm, 2 kilo ohm, nothing is required more. So from the input terminal, input part or input terminal, I can write VCC starting from this one. VCC equals to IB into RB plus VBE. So from that I can easily calculate the value of IB. IB will be equals to VCC minus VBE divided by RB. So IB is once calculated, easily there will be some value, you will calculate it later. Then I will calculate the value of IC. IC how? IC equals to beta IB. Beta value is given, beta is 100. Then what we will calculate? We will calculate the value of VCE. How? From output terminal. From output part or output terminal, again I will write the Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is VCC starting from this point, VCC equals to going through this, that is IC into RC plus VCE. VCE is given? No, VCE is to be calculated out. So value of VCE, that will be equals to VCC minus IC into RL. IC will be calculated from this one. Once IB is calculated, you will put the value here, and VCC, the value is given. Very simple. You can do it your own, I believe. Now let us move forward. Let us see another circuit which is a little bit complicated than the previous cases. What type of circuit is this? Can you identify this circuit? As I told, this is also one type of transistor biasing. This biasing is done self-bias mode. Self-bias mode. If you have gone through the previous video and you have seen or you have tried a little to understand your own, this will be very much easier to you, otherwise not. So let me simplify the self-bias circuit. Self-bias circuit, the last day we have seen the self-bias circuit was looking like that, and from that the VCC was connected. VCC was connected like this one only. VCC was connected like this one, and for simplicity only this VCC is shown like this, and I can simplify this circuit, or I can draw the equivalent circuit diagram for that. Look, some values are given. How was the previous circuit, the self-bias circuit, the last day we considered? The circuit was like that. Let me sketch the circuit first. Suppose I am considering from NPN transistor, then first it was connected like that. There was some AC signal, this part, and this was RC. Two resistances were there, R1, and another resistance was there, R2, and it was connected like that, and there the voltage was biased with VCC, and this was the self-bias circuit, and we calculated the stability of this circuit was better than any other circuits, and from that we drawn the equivalent circuit diagram. The equivalent circuit diagram was also very simple. The equivalent circuit diagram was drawn applying Thevenin's theorem, if you remember it. Then there was one battery, there was one resistance. You can draw a resistance here, as there is a resistance, you can draw one resistance here. This will be RC, this will be this will be RE, emitter resistance, this will be RC, R1, R2, and this will be RT, equivalent resistance. There will be one resistance, there is RC, and this will be VCC, this will be VCC, and this will be VT, Thevenin's equivalent voltage. This is RT, Thevenin's equivalent resistance. What was the value of Thevenin's equivalent resistance? The value was R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. Similarly, what was the value of Thevenin's equivalent voltage? If you remember, the value of the voltage was VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So simply first calculate the values. VCC is given, VCC is 20 volt. R1, R2 given 36 and 4. 36 and 4 is given. So from that VT can be calculated out. VT will be, if you calculate the equivalent voltage, VT will be equals to 2 volt. and if you calculate the value of RT will be equals to 3.6 kilo ohm, because other values are known. R1 R2 known, 36 into 4 divided by 36 plus 4, R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. The value of RC, it is given RC equals to 10 kilo ohm. Now the problem is simple as the previous one, that now you can apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the input circuit first. You can easily calculate the value of IB, base voltage. Then you can apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output terminal. You can calculate the value of IC as beta IB. Beta is given, yes, beta is given 150. IB can be calculated from the input circuit. How? This VT plus IB into RT plus this VBE will be equals to 0. So VBE, again, it is told, silicon is told, so you will consider it is 0.7. You can calculate the value of IB from the input circuit. Then applying that, you can calculate the value of IC. Then again you can apply the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output circuit, and from that you can calculate the value of VCE. In some problems you will find that instead of this, that calculate the transistor current, it is told that the calculate the load line and the operating point. Then the problem will be pretty interesting, but the approach will be similar as before. Let me try a problem like that, where it is asked that calculate the load line and operating point. This problem number 5. Here the circuit diagram is given, very simple circuit, and it is asked that find the load line and the operating point for beta equals to 100. Nothing specification about the transistor is given, so I will consider it is silicon, and I will consider the value of VBE equals to 0.7 volt. I will consider it. Beta is given. What type of circuit it is, you don't understand, but go through the previous notes, go through the previous video, go through any book, then you will understand. This is the simplest version of a transistor biasing. This biasing is not collector to base bias. What is collector to base bias? The circuit that also we have discussed in the previous videos. One resistance will be there, then following that another resistance will be connected like that. Here will be the value of VCC, through which there is a power cut. Please wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so following that, again we are starting VCC. From that the current is flowing, total current, that will be IB plus IC plus IB. It is flowing through this RL, then it is being divided into two parts. IC is going through this way, IB is going through this way. This is RB. Look, this circuit is drawn here. So this is nothing but the collector to base bias. VCC, the value is given, VCC is 20 volt. RL, that is given, RL equals to 1 kilo ohm. RB, that is given 100 kilo ohm. Nothing is told about the value of VBE, so I will consider it is 0.7 volt. So simply as previous that we have done, first I will consider the input circuit. What will be the input circuit? From input circuit we will be starting from this one. It is going through this way, going through that way, and then going to the base, then the emitter, then completing this way. This is the input circuit. Connected with the base, that is input circuit. What will be the output circuit? Starting from this one again, going to this one, going to the collector and the emitter, then it is the output circuit. So first we will apply KVL in the input circuit. How will look the input circuit? The input circuit will be equals to VCC plus RL into, with RL two parts will be connected. First one is, with RL two things will be connected. RL, IC plus IB, that is important. IC plus IB both will be going through RL. Then it is coming through this way, then IB into RB. plus VBE. VCC equals to that, you can write this one, VCC equals to that. VCC is given. What you have to calculate? You have to calculate the value of IB, but there is one IC. What you will be doing? You will be putting IC equals to beta IB. Now see, all are converted in terms of IB. So easily you can calculate the value of IB. Then how you can calculate the value of IB will be equals to VCC minus VBE whole divided by, from these two part if you take IB, this will be RB plus beta plus 1 into RL. This one, you put this one and you can check it out. This will be the value. Then we can easily calculate the value of IB. Then putting that in the output circuit, you will be getting the value of VCE. Then you will be putting IC equals to beta IB. IC is once calculated out. Then apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in the output circuit. In the output circuit, you will be writing VCC, starting from this one, VCC, then IC plus IB into RL plus VCE. Now you know the value of IC from this one, you know the value of IB from the KVL in the input circuit, you know the value of RL, and you can easily calculate the value of VCE. So the values of IC, IB and VCE, these are known as the operating points. Then what about the load line? How can you calculate the values of the load line? I'm not calculating it, I'm giving you some hint. Previous day I have shown you transistor biasing model and transistor characteristics. From the output characteristics in the common emitter mode, this output characteristics. Output characteristics, if you draw IC this way and VCE this way, these are for different IB. This is IB equals to 0. This is IB equals to 1 microammeter, 2 microammeter or milliammeter, whatever. Then one line was drawn like that. Values were calculated for these intersecting points. You check out your previous video, and if you have gone through the book, the value of this point was VCC 0, and this point was something 0 RC by RL or something. That are this is the load line. So if you get the values of the intersecting points like that, then you will be calculating, or you will be able to draw the load line. In the previous problem, probably we missed something in the calculation of this RE. RE calculation will not be that simple here, because if I sketch the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the input circuit, in the Thevenin's diagram, in the input circuit, if I draw or if I elaborate the Kirchhoff's voltage law, there will be one IB into RE. Let me write it first for you. VT will be equals to RT into IB plus IE into RE. Through this line, the current will be flowing IE into RE. So you have to know the calculation. That is, the value will be like that. VT will be equals to IB into RT plus VBE plus IE into RE. The calculation will be like that. But you have to calculate IB. But do you know the relationship between IB and IE? Yes, you know. You can generate the equation. That is, first term will be IB into RT plus VBE. Let it be like that. Then instead of IE, write IC plus IB. Then RE. Okay. And first term will be as similar as before. Instead of this IC, you can write beta IB plus IB into RE. So this will be beta plus 1. This will be beta plus 1 IB into RE. Here you are getting already 1 IB, so you can easily calculate the value of IB. So once RE this term is involved and IE this term is involved, you have to do a calculation a little bit elaborate than the previous cases. Otherwise, the things are as simple as before. So I think I'm able to make you understand a little about the problems that will be asking from the transistor. So whatever I have shown, these are not the proper calculations. I have shown you only the approach to solve the problem, the attitude to solve the problem, that you have to start from the input terminal, then you have to go towards the output, then you will be able to calculate else thing, etc., etc. So what my suggestions are, that you try to follow these things, and also this can be done in different method. Instead of this IE, you can apply other method. Some different methods are given in some book, that you can apply alpha. You know the value of alpha. What is alpha? Alpha equals to IC by IE. So instead of this IE, you can write IE, you can write IC by alpha, and this IE, this can be written as IC by alpha. Then instead of IC, you can write beta IB, then alpha. Then you know the relationship between alpha and beta. They will be written beta IB, and alpha can be written as, what is the relationship between alpha and beta? Alpha equals to beta divided by 1 plus beta. So if you put it, alpha equals to beta divided by 1 plus beta. Look, this beta divided by 1 plus beta, this beta beta cancels out, and you are getting 1 plus beta into IB. Same thing you are getting from this one. So different approaches are shown in different books. This is not important. Your approach for solving the problem is important, that you have to first identify the circuit, what type of circuit is given. You have to check out whether it is silicon or germanium. You have to check out whether the value of HFE or beta is given. Then you have to attack the input terminal first, then following that you have to go towards the output terminal. These are the main basic things of solving the problems related to transistor. So start going through the books, start following some problems. If you are getting any problem, then try to interact one by one. Send me your problem and show me that you have tried it. Then if you can't, I will show you the approach for solving it, and I'll be continuing to upload some videos. Probably it will help you. Thank you.